Davadi and Moses Wetangula there. So whoever wins will be seen as the kingpin for that region. And you know, the Kenyan politics is politics of kingpins. Take people from different regions and put them together, and then you have a political party, and then you form government. So that's why in Western Kenya, you've seen, of course, they say that Moses Wetangula is known to meet violence against his opposers in Western Kenya. And that's what happened, I think, last week, and again, what you've seen last night. So it is a fight for supremacy, and Mwananchi is not a consideration there. Whatever happens, it's for me to be in government, to have the say. And you know, the opposition wants to be in government. The opposition wants to show them that they're with the people. But you know, Kenyan politics have become so transactional. There are rumors that as late as yesterday, millions and millions of shillings was released from State House to the constituencies, to the wards. A ward like in Nyamira, there was one day that there was 7 choppers landed from Nairobi here, members of parliament, cabinet ministers. They landed in Nyamira. Our name CS seat, 7 choppers. You know, you calculate that 7 choppers landing there, how much was spent on that election? Yeah. It's millions and millions of shillings, which could have been used, put into better use to bring development to the people. That's why I'm saying these by-elections is not about the people. It's about the powers that be, the fight for the national cake. That's why after these members of parliament, after these MCAs go into office, they don't care about you, Dennis and I. It's about themselves. Yeah, because if I've spent millions of shillings, investments, investments. I mean, I have to recoup that in the remaining years.
Benji, briefly, but
and this reminds me of what happened in the year, I think 2021, in Kisii, in a place called Bonchari constituency. The whole government was there, but the people were against government that time. And the ODM candidate was an opposition candidate at that time, actually emerged as a winner in that mini election. So even this one here, I think from what's happening, I've seen what's happening across the country. The government...
it does depend on if the people's feelings are sour on the ground.
Yeah, how they have to work. And people will take the money, you will use the money, yes, but they'll vote with their conscience.
Yeah. Benji, when you come back, I want us to go to Ugunja and listening to Daniel Kariuki. But when you come back then, shouldn't the elections be about Mwananchi? Shouldn't all these leaders think about Mwananchi? But let's go to Ugunja and touch base with our senior political affairs reporter, Daniel Kariuki, who is based there, stationed there, and is bringing us up to speed. Good morning, Kariuki. How is Ugunja? We've just seen a beautiful photo of a beautiful image there of a police officer assisting an elderly woman go through the exercise of voting. But what exactly is happening on ground? Did the polls open on time, Kariuki?
Thank you very much. And you said it right, that this is Ugunja. Right now we are at one of the polling stations here in Ugunja. This is Siror Primary School, where it's part of the polling station. It has 2 streams, and you can see the pictures on your screen is just some of the, or rather is the 2 polling the 2 streams here at this polling station. And already the residents, or rather the voters here in Ugunja constituency woke up early to come and cast their vote ahead as they wait to know the next member of parliament who is going to lead them for the next about 2.5 years until 2027. And this morning, the large part of the those who are queuing, who are waiting to vote, are the elderly. The elderly woke up very early to come and cast their vote. You will see from the queues that most of those who are queuing the elderly. Maybe the youth are expected to come later on to cast their votes. This is the fourth polling station that we have managed to visit, and I think this is one of the polling stations that has the numbers really. Most of the polling stations that we have visited, there is low voter turnout in Ugunja constituency as we speak, and maybe it is expected later on the numbers might increase, or rather the turnout might change. But as it stands right now, several polling stations that we have visited, the turnout is a bit low. This Ugunja constituency is the constituency that was being led by the cabinet secretary for energy, that's Opio Wandai, who was elevated by President William Ruto into the cabinet last year, and the seat fell vacant, and so they are seeking to replace Opio Wandai, who is going to be making his way to the polling station where he votes later on during the day. He is a voter here in Ugunja constituency at around 11 a.m. But there are about 10 candidates who are battling out for this space, and I had just like I had told you, most of the people who are voting right now are the elderly. We get to see an image of one of those elderly who have already voted being escorted after casting her vote out of the polling station after she just cast her vote, being escorted by the security officer there, and of course an IEBC official. After they're being given priority, the elderly, to first vote, and then once they're through, they're escorted out of the polling station. Once you arrive here, the first thing you do is confirmation of your name as a voter before you queue, and then once you get to the area, you confirmed again with the KIMS kit, and then once your name is confirmed that you are a registered voter, you are given a ballot paper. Remember, it is a by-election, so it's just one ballot paper, and the exercise is very swift and very fast, because it's just one paper that you're being given that has the 10 names of the candidates here in Ugunja constituency. All the candidates are having parties. There is no independent candidate. So you can see from the picture there, the security officer confirming the IDs so that the process is a bit swift. The 10 candidates, we have Wiper party candidate, we have ODM party candidate, as well as Kenya one candidate, and we also understand that the ODM candidate is going to be casting his vote here at this rural primary school in Ugunja constituency later on. So you're going to be following to know how things are going to be going as we await his coming here to cast his vote. So I was telling you the process is a bit swift because it is just one paper that they are receiving. Remember, during the general election, they get at least six ballot papers, and the process becomes a bit slow. But today, since it is just one, it is faster. When we arrived here, the queue was not that long, but as time moves, it is moving on swiftly. We have not encountered any challenges or any interruption with this by-election here in Ugunja. The polling stations were opened on time at exactly 6 a.m. and they are expected to be closed at around 5 p.m. according to the returning officer here in Ugunja, that is Dennis Omari, who addressed us yesterday and said that they are going to be closing at exactly 5 p.m. so that they start the process of tallying the votes that will already be cast. But if you're going to be inside the polling station before then you will be allowed to cast your vote. And after that, of course, we are going to be following to know how the situation is going to be. In terms of security, it has been beefed up. Remember, Ugunja constituency is a constituency that has not witnessed any violence like it has been witnessed in other areas that have organized or rather are going to be participating in the by-election. The other areas, about 2-3 constituencies where we have witnessed violence. It has been relatively calm. The situation here has been calm, and even the process of voting is peaceful, and security officers are keen ensuring that the security is beefed up. Also, we understand that at least 240 security officers have been deployed to this area in various polling stations. We have at least 116 polling stations across Ugunja constituency that has 3 wards. Here in Ugunja constituency, we have 3 wards, and so the 116 polling stations have been spread across those wards that make up the Ugunja constituency. So definitely we'll be here to keep you updated and to bring you to speed with what will be happening in Ugunja constituency throughout the day. But for now, I want to hand it back to studio.
Kariuki, as he brings us up to speed on the situation in Ugunja there, as he tells us the exercise is going on smoothly, that security has been beefed up with beautiful images of security officers there assisting the elderly who are being given priority to cast their vote and head back home. That is the spirit that we want to see, even as many still continue to queue to get an opportunity to speak and cast their vote. Benji, as we were going, before we went, we touched based with Kariuki, it was a question of elections and being pro-Mwananchi, all about service delivery. There is a feeling that elections in the country, especially from the view of political class, has been about maintaining status quo, has been about political expediency, and never about Mwananchi. How do we fix that? And how do Mwananchi ensure that, as much as we're giving you a vote, we will ensure you work for us?
You see, we said earlier that everything rises and falls on leadership. And we gave the example the other day of Tanzania under Julius Kambarage Mwalimu Nyerere. Even though it was a single-party state, a single-party, in quotes, dictatorship, things were better under the multi-party CCU, Chadema situation you have today. And so that's one example. It really does depend, Dennis, on the holder of an office. You can have the most sophisticated country in the world. America is a good example with independent institutions, America today. But look at America today under Trump. A convicted felon with all manner of cases. One case was just dropped literally yesterday in the state of Georgia, where he was trying to influence the election in 2020. And the president called for Senator Mark Kelly just the other day to be put to death because the senator had called, himself a former military veteran, had asked military, Jeshi, not to respect any illegal orders from anybody, including the commander-in-chief. The president has said that Mark Kelly needs to be put to death. And so this is the fight. It matters who you put into office. And this is the lesson, not only for Kenyans, but for Africans. You can have the best constitution. You could have independent institutions. You could have a hardworking populace. If you put a criminal in office, it will never work. And that is the lesson from MCA to governors and senators. If you look at Kiambu County. Ferdinand Waititu, I think, has a case for, the government is trying to take back 1.9 billion from Ferdinand Waititu. Waititu was putting up his buildings, not in dark alleys, but right on Koinange Street, in the heart of the CBD of Nairobi, with sheer impunity. You cannot, Dennis, expect to pet a snake and then express shock when you're beaten. It really is about character. In fact, one of the American presidents said, competency. By the way, on the break, I was just getting a medical lesson. Our brother here is a medical doctor, and he's really a sharp one. But competency and ability are nothing without character and integrity.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be able to do those things, but you have no character. So you're just a thief.
Sure, and Benji,